Hello, streaming to live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Monday, September 29th, 2025, and I have another presentation for you. And it's called How Does the X39 Work? Very important thing because there is a lot of information out there, and let's get right to it.
Dr. Stillman, we are so excited that you are here to bless and share with everyone here at the virtual convention your best year ever. And we know without a shadow of a doubt, the information, the knowledge, the wisdom that you give each one after all these questions we're going to ask you. So hopefully we don't back you up against the wall. You don't know the answer. I think you will. But this is just going to really help everyone really know the value of the X39 and really what we have our hands on. It's a product that is a complete game changer in so many lives. And we know that those of you who are on are experiencing some powerful, emotional testimonies.
So welcome, Dr. Stillman, to your best year ever virtual convention. We're going to have a great time getting some great knowledge from you. Our goal for this entire discussion is to elevate everybody's knowledge about the X39 because we know we had you on This Is It convention in Tampa, and it was incredible. It's so excited to be reconnected here and really awesome. Make this happen. And also, we want to take and have their belief level of the product. You know, when someone's belief level goes up, they have got more confidence when they're talking to a prospect, when they're talking to a new person. So that's really going to be a main focus, and I know for a fact that that's going to happen with today's discussion. Hey, tell us everybody a little bit about your schooling and your background and your education and your medical practice, so that everybody knows, you know, where you practice and everything that they can know about you as far as a doctor.
Sure. So thank you, first of all, for having me, and thank you, everyone, for attending. I'm excited to get to speak to you all today. So I'm a medical doctor. I attended the University of Virginia School of Medicine, graduated in 2014, went on to do my internal medicine training at Maine Medical Center in Portland, Maine. And since then, I have been running my own concierge medical practice, which is mostly virtual and mostly here in the state of Florida.
So thank you so much for your credentials. And Dr. Stillman, can you please tell us really what caught your eye with the X39 product and the technology? Really, what was the zinger that kind of was like a game changer for you and an eye-opener?
So I became fascinated by light as medicine must have been 2017. And I dove deep into all the papers on this, started looking into devices that were $10,000 or $20,000 is basically what it was starting, right? And then there were devices up to $100,000, like red light therapy beds, like the NovoThor. Great products, incredible outcomes, an incredible whole new world of medicine, but unfortunately very impractical for the average person. It took a lot of time out of their day. Frequently they had to go somewhere to have the therapy done. Sometimes it was expensive on top of that, and then you're driving, you have to go multiple times a week. This was an opportunity I saw very quickly for me to deliver light therapy to people while they were at work, while they were at home, while they were indoors, getting on with life, right? Yeah. And so I knew immediately that it actually took a fair amount of prompting, though, from Renita Brannon, who we all know, for me to really take a look at it and then start using it in my practice, because I get a lot of...
Did she keep bugging you and bugging you?
She did. She kept bugging me and bugging me.
Great.
And that is something that you have to realize about this, particularly if you want to build up the business side of it, is people are so inundated with information. There's so many products that are being sold. Unfortunately, a lot of them will say, I don't want to try this. I'm going to go do something else. They'll get distracted. But the key is the value is there. And that was immediately what I noticed when I started to actually recommend it. And then also what I did for my own peace of mind, really, was to put out a link in my blog posts and my email newsletters to a survey. And immediately the surveys we started getting back, reviews were incredible. Right. And so, I spend a lot of time counseling patients on diet, lifestyle, exercise, all these things. We put them on complex supplement regimens that are hundreds of dollars a month, oftentimes. And I was getting the same results in many cases with something as simple as a patch, like the X39, that I would otherwise be having to, recommend hundreds of dollars in supplements or potentially medications in order to get the same outcome. So very limited, even with very limited experience with it, it was already very clearly very powerful. The science behind it made sense to me, and so then we just started recommending it to practically everyone.
That is some great.
So
great
good
info.
job,
Yeah.
Renita. She
Yeah.
kept following up.
She did.
Proud of that girl.
Yeah.
And did you hear how he said that the reviews, so that would be testimony, came in like off the chart? Like he's
Right
having
away.
great results with the patch compared to maybe doing supplements.
Yeah.
That's
Or his other therapies that
Right.
costed tens of thousands, sometimes upwards hundreds of thousands
Right.
of dollars.
Oh, yes.
incredible.
Yeah.
Particularly like stem cell therapy, we talk about that all the time because it's related. Yeah, I mean, people are sadly, a lot of them look at the sticker price of the LifeWave X39 and they think, wow, it's a lot of money. But the reality is with the outcomes that people get, you then ask them, well, would you rather spend $5K on a stem cell injection therapy protocol that you can't use for years? That happens once and then maybe you don't get good results from, or you don't get any results from, because that happens, right?
Right. Exactly.
And that's what is $5,000? And that's a low end for stem cells. I mean, you
Yeah,
could
that's
get
low.
10, 20,
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
So then it's just a simple math. Do you want to use this
Yeah.
for years or do you want to use
Right.
that once?
Right. Okay, let's give everybody, Dr. Stillman, can you explain exactly in simple terms how the X39 works?
Yes. So our bodies emit a certain amount of infrared light. So infrared light is light we can't see. We sense it as heat. So when you go outside on a sunny day and you feel the warmth of the sun on your face, what you're really sensing is the 42% of sunlight that is in the infrared part of the spectrum, okay? What people don't realize is that infrared light fundamentally runs a lot of their biology under the hood. And they don't realize this because, we don't come with a owner's manual or instruction manual. So you have to kind of figure it out as you go. But quite literally, your mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell, they make energy in the form of heat. They make infrared light. This interacts with water in the cell to create energy. So the X39s reflect a very specific frequency of light back into the cell that has a specific effect of turning on and off key, I'm going to call them bioregulatory pathways, right? But biochemical pathways and so on and so forth. And that's how they work. So, you asked me to make sure I made it simple and understandable.
Yeah.
It's real simple. These patches reflect your body's light back into the body at a very specific wavelength for a very powerful therapeutic effect.
Boom.
See?
You got it. Simple as can
Appreciate
be.
you sharing with that.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. So can you explain, like, we get a lot of people saying that, well, I feel so much better. I had like a back issue, or I had a knee issue or discomfort, and now I don't need to wear the patch. But why is it so important to continue to keep wearing the X39 patch? I know I'm wearing it till
So
Jesus takes me home.
what I ask people is, do you wait to change your oil until your engine is knocking or your car's engine is smoking? And they say, no,
Whoa.
of course not. Why would I do that? I say, okay, so you do reasonable things to keep your car in good condition because you
Right.
recognize that replacing your engine block can be $5,000 to $20,000 depending on the vehicle, right? And you realize you got to keep your wheels in the right alignment and you got to rotate the tires and you got to do all this stuff, right? Why do you do that? They say, well, I know, my car came with an owner's manual. I say, I know, you didn't. Right? So what are we going to do? We're going to do everything reasonably possible, right, to keep you in the best condition possible. And when you look at the kind of results people are getting with this, a lot of it is diseases that have emerged, right? They've emerged out of the body and they're clearly a problem, right? Wouldn't it be great if before they emerged, you kept them sort of back? And that's why I recommend and why I use the patches myself every day, even though I don't have any real medical problems that I'm treating with them.
Right.
Can you explain and tell us the GHK copper peptide is a really, really hot topic?
Yes.
And can you explain what it does, how it happens, how does it raise the levels of our GHK, this tiny little X39 patch?
Yes, great question. So minerals are actually, and GHK-Cu or GHK copper peptide, it's a peptide. A peptide is a collection of amino acids that's not big enough to be a big protein like, say, hemoglobin, but it's bigger than just a couple of amino acids put together. So we call it a peptide. And it binds to copper. Now, part of why I became fascinated by this technology, these products, is that I'm fascinated by minerals. Copper is a mineral. It's an element. It's in the periodic table of elements. If people want to learn more about this from me, I'm constantly educating people about this on my weekly webinars, where often I'll bring up these products because they're of value, obviously. Because we have to get our minerals right in order to have overall health and vitality. Many of the people watching, I mean, I have had certainly experiences with taking magnesium or taking Epsom salt baths. These are minerals. We're using them therapeutically, right? So we've used minerals for millennia in medicine. One of the things about minerals that is increasingly clear from the scientific literature is that they have to be in the right place. In other words, a mineral can basically become a loose cannon if it's not properly bound inside of a protein, right? And this is why when I started to see people who were what I suspected was copper toxic, we call it copper toxicity, or sometimes I call it copper overload. It's people who have too much copper in their diet, too much copper in their bodies, too much copper due to hormones or due to environmental contaminants, things like copper piping. There's a very clear sort of personality type and background that lends itself to this. And when I started to look at how these people were responding to the LifeWave patches, all of this made more sense. Because essentially what we're doing is we're taking free copper, which now from the literature we know is implicated in things like Alzheimer's disease, dementia, cognitive decline, the genesis of things like cancer, all sorts of diseases that we don't want, not to mention cardiovascular disease, still the #1 killer of Americans. When I saw that what we were doing was increasing a peptide that bound copper, and instead of that copper then creating what we call oxidative stress, free radical damage, and what I generally call metabolic mayhem within the human organism, and we put it to work doing what it's supposed to do with a peptide that binds it, that's when I thought, this makes sense. Because I've found that people have this, they struggle with this idea of, oh, there's this little thing, I put it on my body, and all of a sudden I get this really disproportionate big effect. Sounds too good to be true. But, you know, many things operate on these principles, like acupuncture, right? You place a needle in the body. I've seen people get amazing results with acupuncture, right? That's why the patches go on specific parts of the body, right? I've seen people with light therapy get amazing results. Usually it's with very expensive devices, as we talked about, or it's with radical lifestyle changes, which, you know, like, for example, people will like move to a tropical country and all of a sudden they're getting way more light. But for most people who are working an indoor job, that's not possible without, you know, basically going hungry. So they don't do it, and they can use the LifeWave patches in order to get the benefit of infrared light that they would otherwise need to get from the sun.
Fantastic.
Okay, I feel like I'm interviewing him myself. You're just sitting there. Anyways, that's okay. So can you
I'm
explain
bringing it
to
all
us?
in. I can't wait to break out of here.
Yeah. Can you explain to us how the X39 actually raises the levels of our copper peptide?
Great question. Wow, what a great question. Okay, here's why this is a great question. Because Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay? So all of you have had the experience of listening or hearing a noise that for some reason just made your hair stand up on end. Fingers on a blackboard, the sound that's like a hinge will make when it's rusty and it's creaking open. It just makes you uncomfortable, right? Yes. And what's funny about that is these noises are not necessarily loud, right? It's that their frequency is very powerful. Yeah. It can almost make your whole body feel uncomfortable, right? That's why the patches are engineered to reflect a very specific frequency back into the human body. Without you even noticing it, that frequency going back into the human body is turning on cells and pathways and changing what's happening within your body. And that is the foundational science of the technology. And that, I think, is something people who are used to pills and things that come in bottles and boxes and bags for their wellness, they're not used to thinking in terms of, oh, wait, if I just pick the right energy for my problem, it'll just go away. But it works that way. And the longer I practice in the integrative natural medicine space, the more I think in those terms, and the more I find myself quoting Tesla's quotation, which I just shared with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Incredible. So there now everyone's starting to get an idea of how this GHK is being worked because of this powerful product. I mean, technology, just a little quarter-size patch. Tell us a little bit about stem cells, all right? It's the hottest topic on the street. I mean, it is in wellness, but even those of us lay folks, when we talk, you know, people have been talking a lot. They even do seminars now, clinics. They invite influential people
Right.
into dinners, and doctors talk to them about the importance of stem cells. So the knowledge is really starting to get up there. But can you discuss a little bit, explain what stem cells are, you know, and why it's so important for them to remain active?
So stem cells are cells that can grow, and then what we call, the word we use is differentiate into other types of cells.
Okay.
I want you to think about it in terms of like, you could take dollars in your checking account or a credit card, and you could go out and you could buy anything. You could turn it into whatever you needed, right? You could turn it into a car, you could turn it into a house, you could turn it into a shed, you could turn it into tools, you could turn it into LifeWave patches. Whatever you want to turn it into, you can turn it into that, right? But at the end of the day, if you don't have any cash in the bank, how do you turn your car into money for groceries, right?
Yeah.
So the body has this finite number of cells that we call stem cells, and the stem cells themselves become anything you need. You need new heart cells, they become heart cells. You need new brain cells, they become brain cells. You need new hip cells, new joint capsule cells, new bone cells, new muscle cells, new whatever cells, those stem cells become those cells. They're all over your body, they can travel through your circulatory system. And the thing about stem cells is they, as you mentioned, they go into what we call senescence, and they begin to run out as we get older. This is part of the aging process, right? And so the name of the game really of anti-aging and regenerative medicine might easily be summed up in keeping as many stem cells around for as long as possible and keeping them as powerful as possible.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So anything that does that tends to help people recover from illness, avoid degenerative diseases of aging. I'm talking about heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, obesity, all the things that people today have learned to fear, unfortunately. And the name of the game is keeping the stem cells well to mitigate or prevent those illnesses and recover from them, because illness is a part of life. It's a fact of life. We're all getting older. And so we all want to be in as good a position to recover when we do have a medical problem as possible. And that's why stem cells are so important.
Wow. So listen, if you decide, or we get a message on our This Is It Team Facebook page that you say, I'm not going to wear the patch anymore, Dr. Stillman is coming to your house to see if you're alive, if you're breathing, because if you just heard that statement, it's like, you would definitely want to wear the patch. I mean,
Incredible.
Be smart. That is huge, that the cell can turn into anything that your body would need. Incredible.
It is.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
It's absolutely mind-blowing, really.
Right.
When you think about it, this tiny little patch.
It is. It is. Can you tell us the difference between what I'm seeing? Because the testimonies I'm seeing from this X39 blow away what I've heard, even with people with stem cell injections, meaning that it maybe they're only stuck in a certain spot. But tell us the difference. Obviously, the price is number one. I mean, $99 versus
Wake up
20
call.
grand, and you're not guaranteed it's going to work. Here, we're at least guarantee a 30-day money-back guarantee.
That's true.
interesting.
You can't get that.
You know, so
And
tell us a little bit.
that's the tough thing about procedures, is that procedures have this big ticket price, right? And the reality is that ticket price,
If you subscribe, it's $99.
you go to the procedure, you have it done, then people generally fall into, I look at it as three categories, right? You get the people who get no benefit, you get people who get a slight and potentially likely transient benefit, and then you get the people who are the poster children who end up in the infomercials and the advertising, right? And that's great, but I don't think that people realize that they may spend $5,000 and end up in the bottom tier. And the thing is, you can get the X39 now, you can enroll some friends, all of a sudden yours are paid for, and then you can use it for the rest of your life,
Right.
right? And with the number of people who have life-changing results when they start using the patch, your friends are going to be mad at you if you don't enroll them sooner than later. Because, and I'm not going to say they're going to be mad at you, right? Because I mean, are they really going to be mad at you? No, but they're going to wish that you talked to them
That's right.
earlier.
What is a detox?
Okay.
And what can they experience?
With the X39.
Great
With the
question.
X39.
Great question. So long before I started using LifeWave, right? in natural and integrative medicine, what you're trying to do is turn on the rest rejuvenation pathways in the body to get it to come back to a state of better health, right? In order for the body to fight off disease or undergo a rest and repair process, right, it can be a little bit unpleasant, right?
Yep.
You might need to sweat out some toxins, you might need to throw up some toxins, you might need to excrete some toxins, right?
Yep.
And so sometimes people will mistake the symptoms of disease for the signs of ill health, when truly the symptoms of disease are a sign that the body is actually doing something about a problem in the body, right? And that's
That's the kicker right there, guys.
it's a big stumbling block for people, because they'll think, say, I tried the X39 and I felt worse. What happened? Well, when you get on a plane and you fly across the country and all of a sudden the plane is jerking and jumping up and down and it's turbulence, right? Do you assume that the plane is going to crash? No. You know, and I tell this to patients when they're saying, I'm sort of scared, I'm worried, you know, like, should I keep going with whatever you've recommended me to do, or should I quit, or is this good for me? Is it bad for me? I say, look, if every plane that ever hit turbulence turned around, no one would ever get anywhere.
That's good.
You got to make, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't go seek medical attention for symptoms or signs or illnesses, right? You got to use your own judgment. When people are going through these detoxes, it's very important to understand that this is often, if not always, part of the healing process. And if you kick that, I sometimes call it kicking the can of their wellness down the road. If you just keep kicking that can down the road, it doesn't end well. You have to take some days off. You have to sometimes feel worse in order to feel better. And that's okay. And the key is to make sure that you're nourishing your body, you're hydrating it well, because what your body is trying to do is it's taking toxins out of cells, dumping them into your bloodstream. That's part of why you feel bad. Then it's trying to excrete them through your kidneys, and it's trying to excrete them through your gut. And so eating things like fresh fruits, vegetables, hydrating well, and that's how we minimize those detox reactions and get people through them as fast as possible.
Can you just give us a quick, simple explanation of
Analogy?
how the X39 makes this work together, how they
Right.
attaches to the peptides or the proteins, how the copper
Essentially
attaches.
what the X39 is doing is it's turning on the production of the peptide that binds the copper, right? So, you know, it's tough for me to come up with a good analogy, but if you look at water in your house, right, we're all happy that we can flush the toilet, turn on this tap, get water out of the refrigerator or your water filter or whatever, right? But, you know, if you have water in your house in the wrong place, well, you may wind up or wake up one day with half your house being full of mold. All of a sudden, you got to do $150,000 or more in renovations, and that's if you got a small house that's not that expensive, right? Free radicals, heavy metals are the exact same story. And so this is like improving the plumbing in your house to prevent a leak. And that's why I love it.
So looking at
Wow.
preventative is just as much or more important than somebody looking for that one little elbow issue isn't going away yet.
No.
This is way
No,
bigger
this is
than
deep.
this.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
you know,
amazing.
people start to really, their thinking starts to break down here. And I often see this happening, that people will say, well, I don't want to spend this or that or the other thing on this or that or the other thing, X39 patches, supplements,
Right.
good medical care, whatever. The liabilities that show up out of that are $100,000 hospitalizations, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 stem cell procedures. The amount of money you're going to spend on maintenance is going to be dwarfed by the amount of money that you're going to spend on getting these diseases back under control, if you even have the option. Because for some people, their first heart attack is their last heart attack. Their first stroke is their last stroke. Their first cancer is their last cancer. They don't get a second chance. So particularly when you have an opportunity to turn this into a revenue stream for your household, and that's part of why I took the time today to do this. It's part of why I take the time to write about it on my newsletter, is that when people understand that this is the opportunity to get in early with one of the best products in the health and wellness space that's absolutely cutting edge, you would be crazy not to take it.
Okay, I have a really good question, Dr. Stillman. One of the hottest topics in beauty is collagen,
Yes.
right, ladies?
Yes.
So can you explain the importance of the collagen, what benefits we can expect, and do you feel the X39 is more powerful method of increasing collagen than other supplements?
So collagen is the main structural building block of the body. The more collagen you have and the better shape it's in, the better your skin looks, the tighter it looks, the fewer wrinkles you have, the fewer, bags, crow's feet, whatever you're going to actually have, right? So keeping our collagen peptides strong, keeping them abundant is the name of the game. Under the hood, we actually know that people with better collagen networks, collagen helps hem in things like cancers. So the stronger your collagen network, actually, the more it's going to protect you from things like cancer. Very important. It also protects your arteries, right? So when you have, say, a heart attack or a stroke, oftentimes what's happening is the vessel wall has been damaged. The collagen, the elastin, the other fibers in there that make up that vessel wall, they've been damaged. The body tried to clot in order to heal that damage, and then that created the stroke or the heart attack, right? So collagen is critical. It's one of our most abundant proteins. You can take collagen peptide supplements, and most people, particularly women today, don't eat enough protein, and many of them benefit from 10, 20 grams of extra collagen peptides a day, whether that's as bone broth or they take a collagen peptide supplement. However, right, just because you throw more collagen into the mix doesn't mean that it gets incorporated well, right? So you want to be doing everything that you can to keep your body healthy and well, and the GHKCU peptide pathways, the pathways it affects, play into this, right? So you can improve your collagen matrix without changing anything about your nutrition, just by changing the light that your body is absorbing vis-a-vis, say, the X39 patch.
To help everybody here with their doctor, or if there's a doctor listening, okay?
That's what I am feeling.
Dr. Stillman, as an MD, please explain to other doctors and medical professionals who have never heard of X39 why they should take this technology serious.
They should take this technology seriously because it works. It's very cost effective for the results that it gets. It can actually provide them with more time for themselves, for their families, and most of all, for really good patient care. Because one of the challenges we face today is that patients need a lot of time, they need a lot of education. So it works, it's cost effective in the long run. It's a great revenue stream for a practice. And the other thing is it will get people results, oftentimes, even if they don't do anything else.
Right.
So oftentimes we see, particularly in the integrative and natural world, people have got to give up soda and sugar, and they got to go keto, and they got to eat this, and they got to take that, and then they get great results. That requires an enormous amount of lifestyle change. Some people are not ready for that, or they haven't decided to commit to that. And whether or not they should or need to, which of course I recommend that they do, I would rather or would like to see them get a benefit from this, because oftentimes that's what then catapults them into a better lifestyle, a better, healthier diet. They wake up, they're like, oh my gosh, wait, I could be so much healthier, so much better, so much clearer, so much more focused.
Wow.
Now, tell them again, we spoke about this earlier, but if you're speaking to a doctor, because I mean, you had to get some results, see some results to have your interest peaked as well.
Yes.
I'd rather have my doctor. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not saying they have to be cynical, but skeptical. I don't
Oh,
have a problem with this at all.
absolutely.
So you started testing with your patients, and you had such miraculous results that it actually piqued your interest. That might be
your mom
something that
too,
they
right?
need to
Your
do.
mom?
My mom raves about these patches now.
Yeah.
And that is one of the best pieces of advice I have for people who are trying to reach their doctor is don't patch your doctor, patch their mom, patch their dad, patch their kid, patch their husband, wife, spouse, whatever. Because the truth is, a lot of the doctors are, they're healthy, I mean, some of them are not, right? But they're actually more likely to see a really impressive result in an older family member. Yeah. And yeah, I have to be very protective of my reputation, right? Because in the end, people come to me because they trust me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So for me to endorse this product, I have to be very sure that it works.
So, hey, we just want to thank you so much. I mean, everybody, we have got so much knowledge. I mean,
Yeah.
what was our goal to have Dr. Stillman here was to raise our educational awareness of how the X39 works.
So, this presentation is very, very interesting, largely because he talks about all the things that I have been talking about for the last 70, how many episodes am I now? 78. Today is number 78. And having balance inside the body is important, but you need to have all the pieces of the puzzle together in order for the body to create its magic and heal itself. And one of those pieces is to have not the copper but the water. And I talk about 114 degree molecular bond angle water every single day because it is what I call the glue. It gives me energy to be able to push through the workouts and also push through fitness testing that I did on sunny Saturday, this past Saturday, for episode number 77. I set myself a kind of a realistic goal, but a higher goal. Can I do it? And the result was, yes, I did it. It was hard. You got to be able to do it. Am I going to set the level higher this coming weekend? You sure betcha. I'm going to do it. I'm going to set the bar higher and try to do it again. So, is there something behind wearing the X39? Today is day number 168, and combining it with 114 degree molecular bond water, along with having minerals, not changing my protein habits, only eating one meal a day. I haven't eaten anything yet so far today, but yet keeping my muscle mass and lifting lots, doing lots of repetitions by way of the cards, which are ready. They're shuffled today. What happened? Did I lose connection? Yeah, something happened here. The signal dropped. I think, the signal got dropped for a second here because I saw the software go boop, bubbled. So, streaming to you live right here each and every single day. Showing to you what's possible. Do I make sure I have minerals every single day? You betcha. I do. I had my pinch of sea salt this morning. And I make sure it dissolves in my mouth and then I swallow it. So am I getting those 80 minerals that the body uses, and when you combine it with the 114 degree molecular bond angle water, does it work its magic? It sure does. Sure does. It's given me remarkable energy, but also the ability for my body to heal itself. So, and speaking of healing itself, if you want to see more studies and more information, scan the QR code. It'll take you to unlock your bioenergy. You'll see these bubbles here, and you can scroll through them. And if you want to make a purchase for no. If you want to make a purchase for your LifeWave product, I wanted to show here. Of course, it's not shown. This is what I want. You scan this QR code right here, and it'll take you to lifewave.com/Gordon Tomazik/store, and you can place your order today for X39 and start trying it. Only get it directly from LifeWave. They ship worldwide. They have distribution places all over the world. If you're in Canada, it ships out of Toronto. If you're in the United States, it ships possibly out of Utah, San Diego. There's an office there. Probably other locations across the country. So you can get it lickety-split. It's cost effective. It works. It's easy peasy. And start your journey today. And if you need motivation, join me day in and day out, 6 days a week. 6 days. 6 days a week. And if you want to do the test with me on Saturday, sunny Saturday, every sunny Saturday, then you can see if you're progressing, if you're hitting the plateau. And if you want me to do slower speed, type it in the comments. Let me know and I will do it. I'll adjust it. And speaking of timing, today we're going to do, or this week, we're going to do metronome training. And I've talked about this in the past, but today I'm actually going to do it. And I've got my metronome, okay, set at 60 BPM, so beats per minute, set at a clock time of 4/4. Okay, that's the time signature. And I'm just going to play it to see if you hear it. I want it to play on the. Alright, let's see if it. There we go. Tick, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what we're going to listen to. In addition to the water that is dripping, you can hear it being made because I am making 114 degree molecular bond angle water as we speak. So if I turn you can hear the water dripping. That's the runoff dripping into the stainless steel container it's collecting. Alright. However, today's workout, I'm going to briefly explain how we're going to do this. So, you hear the timer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we're going to be working in the negative, but exploding at the first beat every 4 seconds. So we're doing back and biceps. So we're going to do pull-ups this way. So if you can do pull-ups this way with a pull-up bar and match the number of reps that we're going to do today with the cards, wow, then you're in really good shape if you can do this. But if you need to use the bands like how I'm going to use them, then that's okay too. So you can see here, we got there's one band here, that's a purple band, so it's split in half. It's 23 pounds times 2, so we're at 46 and 46. Okay, I'm going to cross them. I like to do that. Attach them to the elbow. Okay, kneel down, and then bang, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's how we're going to do that. And then for the red queen or the red king, it's going to be rows. So I'm going to be grabbing them like this. And bang, 2, 3, 4, bang. Accelerate as fast as you can. Okay? So by doing this, we're actually going to target and focus on type 2 muscle fibers within the body. So it's going to be difficult when you do this type of training. Okay? Then we're going to switch to biceps for the queen, which will be straight bar curls and hammer curls. We're going to go from behind the back, so the elbow, so the muscle is going, the bicep is going to be stretched as long as point, and then so we're going to go bang, bang. That's hammer and then straight bar. Okay, so, and then rope for the jack today. So that's what we're gonna do. A lot of type 2 fibers today. This week's gonna be all type 2s. So be ready. It's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be tough too. So I'm curious to see how I'm going to feel tomorrow after today's workout. So without further ado, come on. There we go. Cards are flipped. First one is going to be Red Queen 3. So we have rows. We're doing the purple band. 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3. All right. So we gotta focus on the negatives. So we're doing Jack 3. 1, 2. 10, 1, 2. 20, 1, 2, 3. 30. Okay. Next up, Black Ace 6. So we're doing pull-ups. 6 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now we go straight bar curls. Okay. 2. There's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. All right, 60 seconds. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Next up, Red King 9. So we have rows. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Next card. Black Ace 4. So we got pull-ups. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Next we have straight bar. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 40 skips. 30, 40. Next card, red ace, 10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now we switch to hammers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 100 skips. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Next up, red ace again, 5. So we do rows. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, next up, hammers. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 50 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Next up, red queen, 9. So we got hammers. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Next card is red king, 3. So we have rows. 1, 2, 3. All right. Next up, Black King 7. So we got pull-ups. All right. Set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, next up, we have Jack 7. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Next up, Black King 8. So, got pull-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. I'm feeling those reps. It's good. Next, Black Queen 10. So we have straight bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next up, Jack 8. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Next up, Jack again, 6, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Next up, last card, Black Queen 5. So we got hammers. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so 14:07, we are done the first round. Whew. So I'll just turn the timer or the metronome off so I can listen to the marvelous sound of 114 degree molecular bond angled water being made. All its glory. One minute left of the rest, and then we will begin round number 2. Starting with Queen 4. So red Queen, 4 reps, which will be straight bar, or no, actually hammer curls. We'll turn the metronome back on and set at 60 beats per minute. So we will start in a little over 10 seconds. So hammer curls. When using the band, you don't have to worry about overthrowing the weight. You can explode all the way through. So 2, 1, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do one more rep. 4, 5. All right. Next up, Jack 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Next up, Black Ace 3. So let's do pull-ups. Four, 1, 2, 3. Next up, straight bar. Okay. 2, 1, 2, 3. Next up, 30 skips. 10, 20, 30. Next up, Red King 9. So we got band, rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Next card is Black Ace 4. So we got pull-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Next up, oh no, straight bar, curls. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, next up, 40 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40. Next card, red ace, 8. So we have rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wow. All right, hammer curls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Next up, 80 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Next card, red ace again, 4. So we have rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we go to hammer curls. One, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, 40 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40. Next card, red queen, 6. Hammer curls. Just gonna double check that these are nice and okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, next up, red king, 5. So we got rows. 1, Next up, Black King 7. We have pull-ups. One, two, three, four, five, six, and seven. Wow. Okay. Next up, Jack 7. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. All right, next up, Black King 5. Pull-ups. One, two, three, four, five. All right. Next card, Black Queen 6. So we have straight bar. One, two, three, four, five, six. Next card, Jack 8. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Next card, Jack again, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Last card, Black Queen 9. So we have hammers, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. All right. So 29:43. We are done. Wow. Feels good to get that one done. So, yes, I've broken a sweat. Every day I usually do. And Metronome training at its finest. Stick around this week. I think you'll enjoy what I have planned. And also next week, it's going to get even more fun. One minute is down. So, I hope you enjoyed today's presentation, which comes from a different person, some additional points of view, and some good examples in terms of how to make sure that you don't procrastinate and that you do proper maintenance on your body, because it needs it as well. Scan the QR code. It'll take you to lifewave.com/Gordon Tomazic store and the direct link for X39, which you can make your purchase. Choose to either subscribe or make a one-time purchase at $149.95 US plus shipping. And there we go. We are done. Let's have a look. So, starting time of the workout for September 29th, 2025. Finished in about, my goal is every workout at least half an hour. And then the heart rate monitor was kind of losing connection because it was based on my forearm position. The monitor was moving, so it lost connection momentarily, but it didn't seem to affect the heart rate that much, at least the readings, so it's good. And today was a solid effort. I hope you enjoyed today's workout. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy, and I'm going to see how it feels tomorrow after doing the metronome training today. Tomorrow will be another day of that. So, if you haven't gotten yourself some equipment, some basic bands, and an anchor point, it's all you really need. Don't need much. And, or you can get some weights. You can do the same thing with weights too. Just when you're accelerating on the first rep, right, you just got to be careful, you know, if you're doing hammer curls, that you don't hit yourself in the face. So the bands make it a little easier, safer, because then you don't have to worry about controlling the weight from hitting you in the face, especially during the curls. So that's all. So type 2 training, here we go. Tomorrow's another day. We'll see you then. Bye for now.